The CSA T20 challenge gets underway on Friday with a clash between Gauteng rivals, the Lions, taking on the Titans out at the Wanderers. Now, Cricket South Africa is looking to bring a bigger and better tournament this year. And to talk to us about this, we've roped in Wanele Mngomezulu, who is the Chief Marketing Officer out at Cricket South Africa. Wanele, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Sports on Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me, and good morning to your viewers.
Wanele, let's start our discussion and talk about how the CSA T20 has never disappointed in terms of the action on the field. But when it comes to off the field, it doesn't seem to have reached the heights of, for example, an SA20. When you look at your research, what do you attribute this challenge to, and have you been able to find a way to remedy the situation moving forward?
Most certainly, I think you've hit the nail there when you did the introduction in terms of we certainly have bigger and better plans going into the season. It is a beautiful, sunny spring day, and certainly it does say it is the summer of cricket, and we're excited to kickstart the season this Friday, as you alluded to. We've had to go back, not just in the past few seasons, but look at what worked in the past 10, 15 years. And then also projecting forward as well to say, what is it that we can do different here and there? We've seen the success of SA20. We have been working very closely with them. We're actually one family. So in there, we don't have to replicate. We really need to say, what can we expand on? What is it that we can leverage on? So we certainly are excited to unpack some of the planned activity.
Let's also just talk about the quality on the field of play. We speak about the Gauteng derby starting with the Lions and the Titans. And typically when we look at a SA20, we know that they'll look to this tournament to see the quality of the players and how they perform in this tournament. Let's just speak about that, just the quality of the field.
So this is exactly where it starts. Yes, we do have our pathway, which is your Kaya Majola school suite. And that's where the development happens as well. And then leading up to a professional setup, which really is the epitome as the world class when it comes to domestic cricket. We know South African cricket is loved globally. And that's where the link between the CSA professional Division 1 in terms of its T20 links up to SA20, which then becomes the international global league. And so that synergy really works beautifully in ensuring that you then see this pathway throughout the system and that leading all the way to the Proteas national setup.
And I love that about this tournament. Something else I love is the fact that the fans are the heartbeat of the competition. Now, speak to me about this, because you've dug deep into your very nice deep pockets. We've seen what your profits are looking like of late. But what is it in terms of that one-hand catch for Vusiwe's nephew sitting somewhere in the stands? Talk to me about how you're involving the fans.
Sure. No, and thanks for that. We certainly are embedded by our strategic pillars, which is access, inclusion, as well as excellence. From an access perspective, we really said, how do we ensure that we do reach out to the masses out there? So starting with the ticket prices at 20 Rand, simple 20 Rand, the most cheapest price that you can ever get when it comes to the sporting fraternity and that. So that's what we've got. We invested into the market. We actually are working with different affiliates. We're working with different communities as well in terms of ensuring that they do have access to attending the games in it. From an inclusion perspective, this is where we have to stretch ourselves to say, how do we ensure that we don't leave anyone behind? So we've worked with all our ancillary members, all the way from our defense force to SAPS to correctional services to blind, deaf, veterans cricket, really saying, colleagues, this is your cricket, this is your sport. We really want to include it in you. And they're now forming part of that entertainment aspect as well. With the schools, we are shuttling in schools into the games, working with different communities and clubs, our hub structures, really bringing into games. But the biggest excitement really then speaks to what is it for the fan. We've set aside over 2 million in terms of prize money that's allocated to our fans. Breaking it down, the 1 million we've alluded to, that's allocated to one-hand catch, the 1 million hand catch. So that's something that CSA has always been done in the past, and it's worked successfully. We've seen it with SA20 as well, so we really said, let's definitely bring it in. Then we said, what can we do with the other million? We know we've got a societal challenge that we're facing when it comes to our students, to our kids. So we're working with varsity teaching students, where we're saying 10 lucky students will walk away with 100,000 by simply attending a T20 match. And that's all they have to do. It's literally attend a test match, follow on our social media. T's and C's are available on our cricket website. It's really there to say, how do we play part to improving the quality of life, education and that. So that 1 million is really allocated towards that. We haven't left others as well to say one lucky couple will also stand a chance to win a fully paid trip to the Newlands Test, all expenses paid for in Cape Town. So that's all in our expenses. And then from a kid's perspective, we've also got your jumping cars, entertainment, and we've got a treasure hunt. So kids will definitely come and entertain, and they stand chances as well with their families to win, to walk away with different prizes on match day as well. A lucky fan, best dressed, will then get a chance to present the man of the match at the end of the game. So really, we've dug deep in terms of ensuring that we really do include our fans as part of this process.
Oh, Wanele, thank you so much for your time this morning, and thank you for letting us in terms of what to expect at this edition of the CSA T20. I definitely love the bursaries, 100,000 Rand to 10 lucky students who will, of course, be walking away with those 100,000 Rand bursaries. And R1 million for a one-hand catch. I would love to be in the stands for that one. But that's how we wrap up your sport news in this hour, speaking to Wanele Mngomezulu, who is the Chief Marketing Officer out at Cricket South Africa.